Hello there everybody, this is Graham, also known as the Collector 75, and welcome back to another Transformers review. Right, for this review I'm going to be doing a figure that was requested quite a while ago, in fact, and one that I've been meaning to do for, I don't know, 6 months or so. But here we go, I'm finally getting around to do it. This is of course Armada UNICRON. Now then, a little bit about this figure. I was over the moon when I found out they were coming out with this figure, just because when I first saw him back in Transformers the movie in 1986, I think every kid wanted a figure of Unicron, and unfortunately the prototype figures that I did see a few years ago for a toy that they were thinking of being made, oh my god, that was horrid and fucking shit. So we're just glad they never made that, and instead we did get this. There was supposed to be a Unicron figure for, I think it was Beast Wars Neo, I think. But again, that one looked actually not too bad, but, you know, it still wasn't the best. But, you know, we ended up with this one, which was Armada UNICRON. He has some good points and a few bad, well, quite a few bad points, unfortunately, but it's still an amazing figure and one that I think nearly everyone should own if they can. Especially if you've got the room, because it's a fucking giant fucker. Anyway, yeah. Now then, they made him for Armada, and so of course he does come with his little mini-con pal. This is of course Dead End. I'm going to take some pictures of all these at the end, including the Energon recolor. That was all in black with sort of like green Energon damage. I do have that one. In fact, my brother bought me that one for Christmas, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago. £60 it cost him, and I told him not to bother because it would come down to 20 quid about 2 months later. Lo and behold, about 2 or 3 months later, I saw it in the Entertainer, 20 quid. Thought I must have been psychic on that one. Still, never mind. Yeah, so they made him for Armada, and as such, he does come with all the little mini-con ports. I can't remember exactly how many you can fit on him now. It's about 22 or 27, I can't remember now. I'm not that bothered because, well, I'm not that bothered really. Now then, this little fella called Dead End. You can fit him on here like a little moon, if you will, sort of like orbiting Unicron here. Now then, he does kind of look like, what was I going to say? He looks like, I don't know if anyone ever remembers Terrorhawks. He looks like the little sort of round figures that were in that. I can't remember what they were called, but I'm pretty certain he won't have a voice like Windsor Davis, but that would have been quite cool. Yeah, even that. I was just watching Doctor Who, actually, the one with the Master in Series 3, and it looks quite like the aliens at the end there. But never mind, that is a Dead End. I'll get onto him in a minute. Now, just back to this figure in, what is it, Planet Mode. Yeah, the Armada cartoon, absolute shit. I couldn't get on with that at all. I tried watching it. I just couldn't fathom what was going on. But there we go. Anyway, that's enough of that. Yeah, so, excellent figure. The Planet Mode, now then, this leaves some to be desired. I actually repro labelled this guy up because they come out with some upgrade labels, as you can see, sort of like in the teeth here. And of course, one of his features is, if we sort of like push these, the sort of like jaws will shut and open, or open and close rather. You can't really angle these, I don't think. I think you can just about angle them down, I think, like that, if you will. So like I say, imagine him doing something. Still, there we go. That's about all the articulation you're going to get on them. And he does come with all these missiles on the side, which is, you know, a nice little feature. They are activated by a minicon. I don't think I've ever fired these out, so this will be a first if I can get them to work, because I'm not quite sure how you do it. But I know you need a minicon to do it. I guess they come with these strange little ports. There we go. I think you push them in, and then we do something. Oh, there we go. Is that it? Well, I've got one fire, that will do. But you get the idea. They all fire out. And then you just put the missile back in there and it sort of like just locks into place. Nice little storage area to keep them in. Now then, he does come with his giant sort of like ring going right round him, if you will, just like he did in Transformers the movie. Now, I believe they are bringing out a recolor of this guy for, I think it's the Japanese something or other, like the Celebrations sort of line or something. And they are recoloring this guy to proper 1986 standards, which looks really good. I might actually get it if I've got the money. But still, anyway. Right, back to this. You can, of course, put Dead End in here somewhere. You put him in here, I think, just like that. So there's a little mini-con port just in here, but he doesn't fit in that well. He just goes in and then will just roll out. I don't know why, but that is like that on every figure apparently. Don't know why they've done that, but I usually like to put a bit of blue tack in there. And you can put him like this with his like little gun pointing out, which isn't bad really. Don't ask me why they've done that. I don't think it makes him look any better or any worse really. But you can put him in various other places as well. Now then, as I said, this figure has a few flaws, notably the feet, just sort of like hanging under there. And then, as long as you don't look at him from the back, because you can tell these are his robot legs, and there's his sort of like torso piece. And it's very flat looking at the back, and most of the display pictures have him like this in planet mode, which is just rubbish really. So it's a shame they couldn't have done more with that, but there we go. They managed to fix this for Primus, in which I'm going to review sort of like next, or maybe a video on one of them. I'm definitely going to do that one. Anyway, so that's Unicron's planet mode. I don't think there's any more I've got to say about it. It's not bad. It doesn't, obviously, that is the only way you can put it down. That is probably why they display it like that. I did buy the Big Bad Toy Store thing a few years ago now. It's like a display stand, so you can put him in here, like in planet mode, which is pretty good. A bit flimsy, so it's alright if you sort of like prop it up against a wall or something. And it does look pretty good like that, if you can imagine it. I always think like hanging mine up, but there we go. Yes, right, now then, let's transform this guy. Now then, and now here's another big flaw, which I'm going to come straight away to. Because the first thing we need to do is we're going to separate the giant planet halves, which you do just by literally opening them up and then separating them. If I can get them apart with one hand, which I can't, so I'm going to have to use two. Forgive me for this. There we go. Right, so and then you have to separate these and just sort of like remove them out of the way. Now then, you can transform them with these pieces on these. They're all translucent, but I like to take them off. So I'm going to. They just come out easily enough, like that. I'm just going to show you this, but I've got to do it off camera, which is a bit annoying. But that isn't the only bit I like to take off for the transformation, mainly because it just is so much annoying to transform with them on, right? So these are the translucent pieces. They're just connected via this hole here and a little peg. It's not a problem, but you know, it's just nearly what's that, a quarter of the planet mode, but you're just taking off, because obviously this is now how he looks without them. There we go. See, that's where they were, right on top there. But that's what you got to do. Anyway, right. So the next thing we're going to do, we're going to separate the sort of like the rings that go around him. Then we are going to just come around to the bottom here. Just going to separate these feet like that. That allows us just to get this piece out here, because it is connected via two little tabs just there and there. Right, now so we get these out of the way like so. And this is another little area that I like to, if I can. Sometimes they want to come off, sometimes they don't. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop these off. They come off just here, it's not a problem. And we're just going to put that one down there. And then I'm going to just pop that one off and put this to this side. Now always the thing is, you've got to try and remember which way to get them the right way round when you put them back on, which when I was transforming this guy from robot mode earlier, because he's been on my shelf for the last year or so, I actually put them around the wrong way, and it was taking me about 5 minutes to figure out that I had them around the wrong way. Anyway, right, from here on it's pretty damn straightforward. We just fold out these giant legs like so, and there, like that, and then we just fold down the feet. As you can see, oh, you've got to turn this toe round, I almost forget about that. That was another thing that was confusing me earlier. So don't transform this guy for a while. So you turn around the toes, make sure they're not in the way. Then we rotate these pieces around here, like that, just to take the planet sort of like look off the front of the robot. Right, just to separate the legs like that. Now then, I believe on the recolour these are going to be coloured black, so they don't stand out as much, which looks really good. Now then, we're going to show you the face right away. So you flip up his head, That just clicks into place. Rotate the little horns around there, like that. As you can see, I've repro labelled this guy up. They've sort of like come out with some silver labels just for around the side of his head, just to give him that 1986 feel. The same with a sticker on the top of his head here, because there was like a red crystal there. And if you look, I like this. I do like this because he has like an M on his face. I don't know if you can see it there. That's supposed to represent the Minicon. Well, M for Minicon, I suppose. But there we go. Right. So then we separate the arms, as you can see. It's easily tabbed in. Oh, there we go. I don't want to do that. That's one of the surprises for later. You know, I did like these sort of like little, what's that, little spikes in planet mode. They should have put more on them, on all over the body. That would have been absolutely brilliant, but they didn't. Anyway, then we rotate this bit up. We're just going to rotate this little tab around. This little one just there, so it's not in the way. And then these just click into place like that. As you can see, it's quite an easy transformer. It's just big and bulky. That's the only thing that makes him slightly, what's the word I'm looking for? Imposing. Then we flip up his little shoulder pads like that. Oh, I forgot to do that earlier as well. That was getting confusing. Right, so then we've got the arms just out like that, and then we open up, if I can show you. There we go. We open up this little section here, and the hands are hidden inside. Like that, and like that. Close them up, and there's his hands, and then he's got loads of articulation. Every finger is articulated like that, and he's got a thumb. As you can see, we're going to flip out this little hand, so he can do all manner of gestures with his fingers, as you can well imagine, which I'm pretty certain most people on YouTube have already done, so I'm not going to bother. Yeah, so this is basically now Unicron. This little chest, this little sort of like torso piece does move down for no real reason at all, really. It doesn't really click into place, but it just helps with his articulation, just to give him a good look, I think, because these bits will move out like that. So if you wanted to move them up, it still retains quite a good look, which isn't bad. He's very, very solid, stiff joints, absolutely great clicking noises. I do love this guy. Now then, what you do with these, we're just going to pop Unicron down here. We sort of like bring these down, because they're just sort of like clicked in. We do this, angle that up, push that out, fold these down, and then these will click into place on here, like so, like that. Right, so then we do the same with the other guy on this side. Flip these round, angle that up, flip them down, and these become like his sort of like weird sort of like skeletal wings that he had in Transformers the movie. Pretty good. Unfortunately, the joints are very loose, so I just like to try and get a tab and connect it in. You're not going to really see this, but this tab here, I just like to try and flick it into this shoulder piece like that, so then it sort of like doesn't fall down so much. Well, I'd say not so much, but it still does. Yes, anyway, but then with these you're supposed to connect them in like that, and they just sort of like, they're supposed to hang off his body kind of like this, and it just looks absolute shit, so I take them off. Yeah, so this is Unicron in robot mode. Absolutely fucking fantastic figure. My one tiny gripe with this, well, I actually got two, is this giant chest piece. It sticks out absolute fucking mile from the bottom of his body, which is just here. Let me see if I can get this arm out of the way. Just like that. So it makes him look like he's got breasts, I suppose you could say. But that's not one complaint. It's mainly to house like a feature. He's got a giant missile in here, but apparently mine is one of the first, because I bought this guy when he first came out for 60 quid. Well, I couldn't believe it when I saw it. It was like we got it at the same time as America, or maybe even like a couple of days before it. But who knows? I can't remember now. Yeah, but he's hiding a giant missile in there. But yeah, this is one of the first ones apparently, and they had a problem where the mechanism just kept firing. As soon as you put the missile in, close these doors, it would just fire on its own. I managed to stop it with a bit of paper in one of the joints somewhere. I'm not going to fire it because it's nothing special, believe me. But these sort of like doors sort of like open like this, and just reveal, as you can see, the giant missile inside. And it's quite well detailed in there actually, nice little gold paint and everything. So we're going to keep that closed. Now, and he does have a lot of features in this mode. If you push this little button on top of his head, his eyes will glow. Don't know if you can see that, there we are. And just flash, unfortunately. It would be nice if they just stayed on, I think. And his hand does flash if you sort of like move it in the right direction. As you can see, it's just barely going off there. Don't ask me why, I don't get that at all. I'd rather they not bothered with that. I just gave him two grey hands, because you've got one grey, one translucent, which just looks weird. That's about it for the features. So you can sort of like rotate these leg missiles down and fire them in robot mode. And he does have a lot of mini-con ports all over his body. And also, he does have sort of like cells, which if you flip this down, I think, I don't know if this rotates out, I can't remember. But anyway, but he has these, sort of like, you can put that in there. It looks like missile pods as well in there. And he has one on this side as well. Just flip them down. You can store mini-cons in there, but we'll close that back up. Like so, and he does have one, which you can see I've put repro labels down the sides of these bits. Here is abdomen muscles. You open this down, flip that down, and as you can see now then, the repro label inside there is of, as you would have seen in Transformers the movie back in 1986, like all the little inside workings. It looks really good actually, I do like that. And you can pop mini-cons in there. I think Dead End will sit in there quite comfortably. Yeah, there we go. He stores away nice if you just want to keep him in there out of the way. Now then, I did promise to show you Dead End, but I've nearly just thrown him in the bin. Where's he gone? There he is. Oh dear. Right, so that is Unicron. A fantastic figure. Slight flaws in planet mode, but in robot mode, absolutely amazing figure. He just looks brilliant, especially if you put him on the side, he's brilliant. His head will turn and everything like that. And still light up, I believe? No, it's only when it's like that, because that's when the connectors are. You can sort of tilt it up like that, so you can look up. Look all around, really. I love it. Absolutely brilliant. One other little gripe that I've just forgot to mention is, in Transformers the movie in 1986, of course, he did have sort of like these clawed feet were sort of like four. He had two on the little sides. They could have done that if they really wanted to, but obviously they don't. If they can't help, if they can help it. Shame, really, because that would look absolutely even better. Now we're just going to pop Unicron down. There we go. Now I'm just going to move on to Dead End. Here he is, like I say, he's like a little tiny little planet on his own, really. A complete spheroid, near enough, apart from this gun, but they don't need the gun, so they could have made it a spheroid, probably better than Unicron in a way. To transform it is just fold out everything, really. As you can see, just fold out this one, like that. And then on this side, sorry about this, it's hard knowing which way around everything is. As you can see, just fold this bit around, rotate it, and that becomes one of the feet. Do the same on this side. So I'm trying to do it so you can see. Like so. So that's his feet, and then you just sort of like rotate these arms up. Oh dear, rotate these bits round. Believe me, you're not missing much if you can't see it. It just looks weird, I'm afraid. And that's it, really. He doesn't have much hands, so to speak of. I don't know, unless it's supposed to go like that, maybe, I don't know. But yeah, but this is Dead End. You know, as mini-cons go, it's pretty shit, really. But he does have a big gun. He does have a nice head sculpt, which you're probably not going to pick out. I'll try my new camera, because I bought a new camera. As soon as I figure out how to get the videos off it, because it's one of these bloody HD ones, I'll try and do some videos in HD, but if that will ever happen, I don't know. But for now, I'll just stick with my normal camera, because at least I know the bloody thing works well, to a certain extent. Anyway, so that's Dead End, nice little mini-con. As far as I remember in Armada, he never transformed, and there were millions of them floating around. But that's not to say that was a good thing. Anyway, so that has been Dead End and Unicron. Next, I'm definitely going to do Primus, because I've liked the Japanese version, which came in a G1 style box. It's worth it just for the box on that one, which I don't think you can really get these days. I think it's quite expensive now. I can't remember how much they cost me, but it was about £60. But I think on eBay now it does go for quite a bit. Anyway, this has been Graham at the Collect 75, and I shall see you all next time. Bye for now.